Well, thank you so much, Tom, for sharing this very interesting case study with us. This is a great opportunity for the students to be able to discover what music therapy can offer and its potential. And so I just wanted to follow with some quick questions, and if you're willing to answer to them. So first of all, I was interested in knowing how many of these music therapy sessions did you have throughout that year in total?
Okay, you see, the total therapy period was over 2.5 years. So it was from 1st of September in 2004 until the 6th of March, my birthday, 2007. And altogether, she had 57 sessions in that period.
Okay. Wow, yeah. And so more or less, how long do the music therapy sessions last? And also, aside from the instruments that we have seen in the video, were there any other resources that you use for the sessions?
A session normally longs 45 minutes. The resources, you could see I was using the piano, but I was also using a lot the voice. Mm-hmm. And my students and me were using the voice, and this is really crucial. It's very important in a music therapy process to use the voice. We say it's our main instrument, actually. Mm-hmm. And I will talk more about the voice later on when you have more questions, actually.
Yes, please. Okay, and so once the video was recorded, then how do you proceed to analyze it? So for example, would you taking like notes while you were rewatching, or how would you like analyze the material that you had recorded?
Yes. I always write down notes immediately after the sessions in what we call a log, a diary, a log. So I write down what I remember immediately after the session. But I very often also videotape sessions, as you can see in this case, which is very valuable. And I highly recommend for music therapists and like Nordoff and Robbins that I studied with, they are taping every second of what they are doing, actually. So it's a lot to learn from that. So when I look at the video afterwards, I index it. So I look through it and I look at the time at the video, and I can see, for instance, after 3 minutes and 6 seconds, I can see there is an important response. And I check what is causing this response. Is it a certain melody, a certain rhythm, or my certain doing something? And I write that down because that can be important. So I write this down in order to use it next session. Mm-hmm. So in that way, I can make a kind of, we say, a red thread between sessions. So yeah, that's the main things, actually.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. And so we also learned from the story that at first there was quite a opposition from the institution. So I was just wondering then, how did you go about persuading them about the fact that music therapy is beneficial and it should be carried out?
Well, I was so sure about Sylvia's progress because I have seen that in music therapy. And I have seen her concentration and her progress and her behavior being so concentrated and cooperating so well with me. So, and the administration had not seen all this. Therefore, I showed them a video, and then something happened. But I was so sure that Sylvia should continue. So I said, if you really want to quit Sylvia at this school, I will also quit. I will stop, here. I won't work here. So it could be a good reason for them to get rid of me. But they say, oh, really? Is it so serious? Then we have to look into it again. And then I brought a videotape, and then they were convinced.
Okay, I see. Yeah, wow, that's impressive. And so after, also another thing is you're very seasoned in this field, and then after so many years of working with music therapy and so many patients, and then you came about with Sylvia. In spite of all your experience, were there any feelings or uncertainties, anything new that you faced with her that you hadn't seen with other patients? Like how did you feel with the novelty of being with Sylvia and working with her?
Well, with Sylvia, it was very special. I had been working several years in psychiatric ward in a hospital in Oslo, but never with such severe psychotic paranoid patient at all. And I also had heard that because I met people that had been working in the hospital she had been living for 30 years. And they could tell me that Sylvia was the patient that had been the most strapped up, with straps, because she was uncontrolled and had uncontrolled behavior. So, and I was also told that she could have aggressive behavior like scratching or kicking or something. So I was rather concerned in the beginning. But I soon felt that when I met her with just music and warmth, there was no tendency to any aggression in her behavior. So then we could relax and just do our things, actually.
Yeah, beautiful. And so to that point, then also, what did you learn from this experience working with her? Is there anything like new you learned, like new experiences?
Well, the most important thing I learned again, because I knew it from before, but I could see the importance of not invading a person that is putting up barriers, because there is a reason for those persons to have these barriers. It's for protection. So instead of breaking these barriers and invading her, I was more offering her something, not demanding something from her. So it started only the way that I offered her something. Like if you, Maria, if you came to my home, I said, can I offer you something? Do you want a cup of coffee? You want a cup of tea? You want a glass of wine or whatever? And so I'm offering you. This is normal. But in many therapies, they are demanding too much. They are demanding some behavior, some answer. Please answer me now. If you are going to cooperate, you must answer me. You must answer. Yeah, and all these demands. But in music therapy, we are much freer to offer our clients something. And even if they are only sitting, listening, and you think they are not responding at all, it can be processes going on inside them. I have made up a metaphor that I like very much and use it and remind my students of. And the metaphor is like this. You cannot see the germination of the seed underground. So if you if there is a seed underground there, if you water it with nice music and with warmth, this seed might germinate sooner or later. But in the beginning, you don't see it because it's underground.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's a beautiful metaphor.
So therapists have to be patient, because they have to be patient about their patients. So because the process can go on.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I also was visiting Juliet Olveden. She was a famous music therapist. She was a pioneer also, together with Nordhoff and Robbins in London. And she was working with autistic children. And autistic children and people with psychosis, they might have this common that they are putting up barriers. You know, they can be in a glass clock or something, because they don't know really how to handle the world. And Juliet Olveden said something. This was I think it was in the end of the 70s when I visited her at her home. And she said about autistic children and her method. She said, I just let the child come into the room. I sit there playing my cello intuitively, and I don't ask the child for anything. I just sit and play, and sooner or later, this child is coming to me and my cello and my music. And this is some of this essence of this work. Not grabbing and demanding, but let the client be free to germinate whenever he or she wants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that ties really neatly with our last question, which was, I guess, from all the skills that students of music therapy are trying to develop to help their patients, which skills would you say are the most important to be helpful for patients and to be a good music therapist then?
Yeah. I don't know if I should call it a skill, but I will tell you what Paul Nordhoff and Clive Rollins said when they opened their first and only music therapy program in London in 1974, that I was so happy to join. Then Paul Nordhoff said, in order to become a good music therapist, you have to love music and you have to love your client. So, how to do this? What does this mean? Can we be therapists by just loving other people? No, then we have to look at what does love mean? And Paul and Clive's mentor, Herbert Goiter, at the place Paul and Clive met in Worcester in North England in the 60th. They had a mentor there, a psychiatrist, doctor, and the leader of this Soundfield Home of Children. And he was a very wise man, this Herbert Goiter. He said, love is not only a romantic, nice feeling. Love is perception. And if you think about music therapy, then when you are using your perception by looking and listening, you will percept. If you were my client now, I would percept your mood. I would percept your your need, and I would perceive your resources. And then I could invite you in an improvisational setting to use all these things you have. And this can be called love. I'm taking care of your resources, your needs, your moods. And in this way, we can call this love.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to share before we close the interview.
Yes. I think also what is very important here is the word acknowledgement. Mm-hmm. So the students, music therapy students, should train also in be good at acknowledge their clients. Acknowledge is important. Is it called reconocer in
Mm-hmm.
Spanish?
Yeah, reconocer, yes.
Reconocer. So it's so important. It's an essential thing and an essential word. And how can we reconocer the client? How? And here again, voice is coming in very much. Because if you are coming to a music therapy session and you are sad, I would sing to you. Are you sad today, Maria? Are you sad? Are you sad today? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay today to be sad, to be sad. Okay, and you see, with my voice, I express and I mirror your feelings, and you will feel that you're accepted, you are understood. This is more difficult to just play on the piano. But voice that is so close to your heart, it can do a lot of expression. And since you are smiling, I think that, do you want to have some fun? Do you want to have some fun? Do you have to have some fun? It can be done. It can be done for you, Maria. You see?
I like that.
You like that, yes. And without the voice, how could I express these things without the voice? It's more or less impossible. So there is, therefore the voice is so important. And the voice can also send messages to you. If you are playing a drum or whatever you are doing, I can recognize that, and I can acknowledge it just in the way I'm singing. Like we were doing with Sylvia, it was like a crucial moment where Sylvia started to smile, and that was when my students and we were singing la 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 la, and we were looking at her and she looked at us, and we were conveying enthusiasm and playfulness and positivity to her just with la 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 la, and she smiled back. It was I get pelas de puntas. Because of this session. And this was because the voice was conveying, it was sending a message. So again, the voice is a very important tool in music therapy.
Mm-hmm. I see. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, with that, we very impressive story. Yeah, we reached the end of the interview. So yeah, Tom, we really wanted to thank you for taking the time to talk with us. And yeah, we really truly appreciate all your insights. This was really helpful for music therapy students, and we learned a lot from it. And so we really wish you the best and hope to see you soon in the future with more lessons to learn. So thank you, Tom, again, and best of luck.
Thank you, Maria, for very interesting questions and for a very nice talk. So also if you have a nice summer, I hope to see you in Spain or
yes.
America.
Hopefully, yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.